So the Brooklyn Nets get Paul Millsap, former NBA All-Star with the Denver Nuggets, who in my opinion, I think that this is a very solid pickup for the Brooklyn Nets. They needed kind of someone that could be like a really, really solid player on the bench, which definitely fits Paul Millsap. Obviously, he hasn't been doing that good for the past few seasons. He averaged only 9 points a game, which like every single year, it's kind of going, his points per game is kind of going down. He has been injured, and he also is getting older. He's 36 years old, but I honestly don't really think that matters. I think the Brooklyn Nets are going to really utilize him in a perfect way. Him coming off the bench is really going to be good. Now they got some really solid players on the bench now that are really going to help them out in the playoff run. Like they got some really good players in the bench. Like obviously the Lakers, I thought, had a really like better bench for them before this, but now I think it's kind of even. Although a lot of people are gonna say the Lakers got a really really stacked bench out there. Obviously the main thing is like the Lakers got really old players on their bench, so you have to take in account of that. And I think the Nets, they both teams have really good solid bench players. I will say that like the Lakers definitely have better shooters coming off the bench, like Malik Monk and everything. But the Brooklyn Nets, man, yeah, like Paul Millsap, you got LaMarcus Aldridge that could possibly be coming back. Obviously, he had that problem with his heart, and he did make a recovery, and he's looking at teams possibly that he's going to be going to. I think for LaMarcus Aldridge, it's going to be going down to like the Lakers, Nets, playoff teams that are in contention for a championship. But ultimately, I think that LaMarcus Aldridge is going to be re-signing with the Brooklyn Nets, which he really should do. I think the Brooklyn Nets will use him pretty good. A lot of people are saying like, LaMarcus Aldridge really shouldn't return into the NBA because of this. And I'm kind of 50-50 with that. I do want the best for LaMarcus Aldridge and everything, but at the same time, if LaMarcus Aldridge is actually cleared by the doctors and everything, and they're saying like he's actually good to go, then I think he should play. But it's up to him on what he wants to do. But right now, it's looking like he's going to look for a team to sign, which that's pretty good. LaMarcus Aldridge is a really good player. Like for the Spurs, even like before this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he was doing very well on the Spurs. Definitely like a good rebounder and everything. But for Paul Millsap on the Brooklyn Nets, I think like shooting, like that's definitely gonna help out with them. On the Denver Nuggets, I always used to watch like Paul Millsap play, and like this guy is a pretty solid shooter, and he's gonna help them out. I always see him getting like them offensive rebounds and everything. And Lakers kind of missed out on Paul Millsap. Now, obviously, there's no way at this time they could have got him. But like honestly, if Paul Millsap went to Lakers, I think that would be really good for them. They definitely missed out on him. I think that though, like the Lakers have a solid team, the Nets have a solid team, and there's no way any other team is going into the NBA Finals after this, after all these NBA signings. Like there is absolutely no way, my guy. Like it literally is gonna be the Lakers and Nets. Both teams are stacked. Both teams have MVPs, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant. We got all-stars on the bench. We got like big-time all-stars on the bench. Like, this is actually crazy. We got Malik Monk, a young dude that went to ring chase. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's just kind of crazy that all of these players are just going to these two teams and this offseason. Now, obviously the training camp is coming up. There could be some more players that the Lakers and Nets can sign. JJ Redick is a really big target and should be a really big target for these two teams, in my opinion. Now, I don't think that JJ Redick is going to be willing to take a minimum veteran contract because he did really well for the New Orleans Pelicans. So I'm gonna assume that like that's just not happening at all. Other than that, there isn't too much free agents out there that these two teams can sign. Obviously, the Lakers, I don't think the Lakers are signing nobody. They are a really stacked team right now. I think they have the 15 players that they have. I'm pretty sure they're kind of looking to sign Isaiah Thomas, but they signed someone instead of him. I can't remember who that was, but The Lakers, I'm pretty sure, have 15 players. I'm not sure about the Nets, but you know, for other teams out there, yeah, there really isn't that much free agent players out there. There is some trades that teams can make going down the line, but like I said, it's getting close to training camp, so I'm gonna see what's happening with, you know, these Ben Simmons trade rumors and everything. But that's gonna wrap up things for this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, comment down below what you think about this Paul Millsap to the Brooklyn Nets. Just the Archer, and I'm out.